And what I find very strange is when I start to move it around, it starts to evoke the actual movement of a person. So it contains qualities of a physical body, but obviously it's made of inanimate material. But with this figure, what I've also discovered is that I want to be really cruel to it, and in a way it's sort of inviting to be twisted in the wrong way. And it's that invitation to actually manipulate the material and to discover something new about a body, asking what can a body be, what can a body become. It becomes an assemblage. It is made to be manipulated and to actually visit unconscious desires or really uncomfortable feelings which otherwise don't really have any voice. So I'm giving voice to something that really can't be accessed in another way. A gene chip where the genetic makeup of the body is actually combined with the silicon makeup of a computer, and that this creature is actually armed with a microcomputer and an existence of its own. But of course that's ridiculous. How could it actually have an existence of its own? The fusion of one thing, a human being, and another thing, a machine. And it's these relationships that actually call to question what a body is, what a figure is. What happens if I start to experiment with feelings, ambivalent feelings of violence and desire? What happens when I start to project those issues and introduce them into an object? And this object then starts to represent something in a paradoxical way, almost in the way that the object itself wants to introduce the idea rather than the way that I've intended it to become. And people ask, why do I want to do this? Actually, I don't know, I don't have the answer, and I stumble. And I wonder, well, actually, why do I want to do it? This figure can be put onto its sort of saddle, a phallic saddle. And it's got little stirrups here, which are a bit difficult to manipulate, where I can put its legs up there like that, and this one's a bit tricky there like that. So it's sort of giving birth to itself. It's almost as if the face at the front is revealing behind what's being thought, what thought is being conjured up. I don't know what his name is. Even if it's a fragment, it implies the entire subject. And I call them creatures because they do seem to have some sort of existence of their own. It's quite an abstract existence, but it's still there for the imagination to bring together as a figure. But they're also viable, that is, as assemblies, they're armed with eggs. They're actually fertile in the sense that they can take thought to another place, they can generate thought, but they can also somehow breed secretly and perversely to create other creatures. And this might seem perverse, but actually what's possible with the body and what's possible with the way the body can imagine, or a person can imagine how they might change, that change is already present. We're always part of a machine, we're part of different processes that are engaged around us all the time. We're engaged with them and extending away from a contained body into a body which is a far broader description or of a far broader nature.